Welcome in to Castles and Cocktails. And I'm Andrea from Our Castle Life. Hi, guys. Welcome in the chat. So I'm going to bring in our co-host. If you guys like Disney, if you like drinking, and if you like Universal, we talk about all of that. And today is all about Tron. So let's bring in Morgan.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so excited.
I am too. And we also have two more hosts. And let's bring in Heather from Heather Ever After.
Hey!
What's up?
Oh, not
Party girl. And then let's bring in Beth from Villains and Vice.
Hey guys.
Hi.
How is everybody tonight?
Good. We are doing great. Where's your cocktail?
It's right here.
Oh, the color. I love.
Oh my gosh.
Tipsy Grid in honor of Tron.
Grid. That's great. And speaking of cocktails, we have a signature cocktail tonight. Tell us about it, Beth.
Oh, it is the Tipsy Grid in honor of Tron. It's a very pretty, like bluish green color. Super easy to make. Super easy. Only 4 ingredients.
That's awesome. Let's check out the video.
Looks yummy.
I love it.
Easy peasy.
How's it taste?
It is better than I expected it to be. It's actually pretty light. Yes, cheers, ladies.
Awesome. So today's the opening of Tron. So
yeah, it was madness at the Magic Kingdom today.
You know when they started Tron?
What do you mean?
When they started building Tron?
It was like 7 years ago.
February of 2018.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
That was so long ago. Oh my gosh.
The railroad closed for years, like just crazy.
That's crazy. So do you think it was worth the wait?
You hesitated, as Olaf would say.
I know. Right. It's a great ride, and it's a great addition to Magic Kingdom that really needed like another thrill ride. I think the bummer is, though, that it opened late. So it opened after Guardians, and Guardians is just a better ride. So I think, it's almost became like the grand finale, but shouldn't have been, if that makes sense. Like Guardians is a superior ride. People have already ridden Tron, it exists already. I feel like if they had opened that one and then opened Guardians, it would have been like, oh yeah, go Disney. But they had, kind of reversed them. It would have been better.
Right.
It's a fun ride though. That first launch is awesome.
That's what I heard. 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the ride vehicle itself is so weird.
On a
you have to lay flat on it, like really lay on it, and you kind of you buckle yourself in. There are like these bars, and you pull them down, and as you pull them down, the back restraint comes up on you, and you can almost, if you want it to be tighter, you can continue to pull it down, but you're lying flat as you do it, so it's different.
Oh my God.
I heard that if you have like big calves, it kind of hurts the back of your legs, or if your boobs get squished.
Yeah, and it's tricky to get into because you don't, when you do Flight of Passage, you're on a bike, but you're sitting on a bike. This one you're getting into it already leaning forward, and you don't like climb across. If you're on the far side, you have to walk all the way around the ride vehicle to get on, and then when you get off, you have to walk all the way around the ride vehicle to get off the ride.
That's weird.
It is very weird, and the cast members are really great about making sure that everybody knew exactly what to do. But when you first walk up to it, you're like, oh no, it's confusing.
Gotcha. And so you have some video. Let's show some video of you walking up to the ride.
That's when you very first kind of walk into that big building that you see.
Mm-hmm.
That's the very first room.
I have to say that does look like a probe.
Yeah, it does. We were, all looking at it like, what is that thing?
Right.
And, it lights up and, flashes like blue and white, and you're kind of mesmerized by it at first, I guess. And you expect it to do something. Like it looks like it would shoot out a laser. It doesn't.
Maybe it does at night.
Maybe.
Users, prepare to be digitized into the world of Tron.
And so when you walk into that room, this part's almost like Guardians, where you walk in, you see the screen, and then they play what you just saw, and then it's like it flashes, and then you can see through it, so you can like see down into where you're going. The wall changes essentially, which is kind of neat. They've gotten pretty clever with their effects.
So the next.
And those are the lockers. The lockers were a little confusing too, because the ones that are lit up are the ones that are available. And once you put your stuff in there, the number, like the light turns off. And if you can see, it's dark in there. Mm-hmm. So you have to really look at the number before you go. And it's just like Velocicoaster at Universal, where you put your stuff in. You just tap your magic band. You don't have to use any codes or anything. You tap your magic band, it opens up, you put your stuff in, you go ride the ride. And then when you get off the ride, you're on the other side of the lockers. Right. So you have to really remember.
Do you have to have a magic band?
You don't have to have a magic band, but you need like a card. The cast members were telling us that the watches don't work.
Oh.
So you have to have like a physical card or a magic band.
Okay.
When Velocicoaster first opened, I, did the lockers, and I didn't realize that we'd end up on the other side. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, no, my locker's over there.
I'm lost.
And I went through the the exit to the family room, and I did have a family member waiting, so it was valid that I went through there. But I was like, oh, I'm supposed to be on that side. Whoops.
Yeah, real dumb feeling. Yes, you feel a little like disoriented. You get off, and you're like, no, it was on this side, but everything's like reversed, and they didn't tell us that we would be getting off on the other side of the lockers. And we walked out. I was like, oh, okay, but after if you've done Velocicoaster, you like know that that's something that some rides have, but they didn't tell us that ahead of time, or they didn't tell me.
Tron Bicycle Run is
and that's one of the last. It's a very narrow, very tall hallway. One of the last ones you get to before you get to the actual room with the ride vehicles. There are a lot of lights on this ride, a lot of flashing lights, a lot of dark spaces. Very, very futuristic.
I don't know if I could stay in line in the narrow area right there. It looks very small.
We were lucky because we just walked right through it. But if you're standing for any length of time, I could see how. It could be overstimulating,
right?
As the lights just are constantly like pulsing almost.
So then you went. That's the next room is when you load onto the vehicle.
You go through another room where they tell you, your team blue, good luck team blue. And then they show you like team orange, who looks very scary. I haven't seen Tron, so I don't really know what the team thing is about, what you're competing for. But you do go through a whole, I want to say series of rooms. I want to say it was a couple of rooms at least, where it's basically talking about the game and how this is a competition and good luck to you. And then you get on the ride vehicle.
So can you pick where you sit? Because I heard there's a back car. Like if you don't fit,
Yes, there is, and you have to wait for it because there aren't very many of them.
Oh, okay.
But you can, if you want to have the, I don't remember what they call it, but the accommodation car, you can request that. And, for a lot of people, they'll, have to ride that one, but at least it's available because it's kind of a tight ride. And, if you had like back problems, I don't know that that's something that you would want to ride, because you're hunched completely forward. Like you're like tipped at the waist. You're lying like flat, like with your chest is like on the ride vehicle.
So can you have your phone on the ride? I've heard 2 stories.
You don't go through a metal detector like you do at like Hulk or Velocicoaster, but you're not supposed to have it with you. They didn't specifically tell us not to, but they're like, make sure you put everything in your locker.
Okay.
If you had it in your hand, I think they would probably stop the ride and make you go back.
Oh, really? Because I heard there was a spot where you could put your phone.
Really? I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know some people use their GoPro. So
and they didn't say anything about that. They didn't want anything in your hands. They didn't want anything in your pockets. But if you had something strapped to you, I think maybe.
Right.
Maybe
you should get a head GoPro. One right here.
Like a minor. Also, the handlebars. Like, I wish they would put something like rubber or plastic over them. They almost felt like a file. They're like cold and metal, like textured metal. And at first, the launch is like 60 miles an hour. So I was like holding really tightly. And I was like, oh, stop. That hurts. It hurt.
So I heard the launch was amazing.
The launch is the best part. I would like
How
to
would you compare it to Rock and Roller Coaster's launch?
It's faster. And you feel like you're going faster because you're leaning forward. So, you feel like you have more momentum going that way. I really want to ride it at night because the track all lights up. And I think that would make it like a totally different experience.
Cool.
We rode it like mid-afternoon, but you really do feel like you're going really fast with that launch. It's pretty awesome. And there are other smaller launches, but not nearly as noticeable. They're not like, I know I keep comparing it to Velocicoaster, but like Velocicoaster has like serious secondary launches. And these ones are just like little baby things that just kind of like push you forward a little bit in like little bursts, if that makes sense.
Power-ups.
Yes, exactly. Like baby power-ups. I didn't get that. Mind your own business. Watch.
So do you think that after riding the ride that it was really worth the wait, or do you think like you said, Galaxy is so much better?
I think it's worth the wait. I think Magic Kingdom really needed another thrill ride. And tomorrow, I think a lot of Tomorrowland is really dated.
It is.
So I think that kind of helps make the Tomorrowland part of Magic Kingdom cooler again.
This
Magic Kingdom.
Do you think this ride would make people sick, like Guardians?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Guardians spins and the track goes around, and this is pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I would say you'd have an easier time on this than you would on Guardians if you're like prone to motion sickness, for sure.
I heard that they had to put more garbage cans out at Guardians.
Did they? I always get nervous when I hear that people are getting on it for the first time.
Yes.
Yes.
I would have to probably drink a lot before I got on the ride, kind of like Tower of Terror.
Really?
Beth got me on Tower of Terror.
I was going to say, you rode it with me.
And I videoed the whole thing. And I was going to play the video, but you ever hear yourself when you're drinking and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not playing that.
A lot of my videos are like that.
I was like,
I'll have to edit that out. You can't even understand what I'm saying.
All my videos of Tower of Terror, I'm like cackling in the background while everyone else is screaming.
That's what I do. I just laugh. I just laugh like an idiot on all the rides. I don't know what my problem is, but that's what I do.
That's what I do too.
We had fun. We had fun. That was a good night.
That was fun. We had a lot of fun. It was when Fantasmic came back. It was That was a good
Mhm.
night.
The first night. Yes.
Yeah.
That was a lot of drinks.
Beth, I
Yes.
think you brought up a really good point about how, they should have opened Tron before Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And I definitely have thought the same thing, but about the 3 trackless rides that have opened up in the last few years. So, Mickey and Minnie's was last. Then it was, what was the other one? I'm totally blanking right now. Rise. And then there was a third.
Remy.
Oh, Ratatouille. Yes.
Mm.
I think Remy should have opened first. Oh, yeah, because that opened the latest. Remy should have opened first and then got us excited about the whole trackless system. Then gone to Mickey and Minnie's, which it was more elaborate of a trackless system.
Right.
And you
And
weren't
new. It wasn't at any other parks.
Yes. And then Rise of the Resistance. But the fact that we got the opposite was kind of like how you're saying with Cosmic Rewind, in that it's underwhelming. It's
Yes,
this
exactly.
is cool,
we've already done
but-
something better than this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Right. All right. So I think we're going to go to commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to have a special guest, Casey Potts. I'm so excited. I feel like I feel like I'm going to see a celebrity.
She takes the cutest pictures.
I know.
Cute. Oh, Winnie the Cute. Rawr, Jurassic Cute. You're not trash. You're cute. This is Sammy. Sammy loves Disney ears. She loves ears so much, she makes her own. Yeah, 3D ears. Want to see her do it? Let's check it out. Here she's making bows. Here she also makes ears. And sometimes she makes ears with bows. Any kind you want. People have been seeing her with her ears and they're saying, hey, can I get me some ears? Pow, yeah, you can. Here you go. Now Sammy's making ears for any occasions. Ears for dogs. Ears for spooky stuff. You name it. Ears for any occasion. And it's all happening at JSA Creations. JSA Creations. Just ask for Sammy.
Craving your favorite theme park treats? Right from the comfort of your home? Introducing MainStreetTreat.com. We bring your favorite treats right to your doorstep. Visit MainStreetTreat.com today and go ahead, treat yourself.
Welcome back.
Hey, guys.
Okay. So Casey's in the background, so let's bring her in.
Hi, everyone.
Oh my
Welcome.
gosh. She looks like
Hi,
her
thank
pictures.
you.
She does. She's gorgeous. Look at
You
her.
are.
Aw, you guys
Let's
are
turn the lights
sweet.
off in my room.
Well, it's also still daylight here in California, so.
So jealous.
It doesn't really do anything.
So I have seen, so I stalked your page and I was checking through your pictures, and I have to say, can you please redo my closet?
Oh. You want like the organization or the things that are in it?
The things that are in it, or both, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Hi.
They're saying hi to you.
Hi.
Another mini celebrity.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is what makes me the mom of the Millennial Mom situation. This is my
Right.
daughter Kennedy, which I bribed her so well to leave me alone for half an hour so I could do this. And clearly the bribe didn't work. You what? Oh, you can't have one of my headphones. No, you can watch if you like.
So, like I said, I was looking over your Instagram and looking at all your pictures. Patty, can you put some of her pictures up? Because I got to show people. Look at this.
Oh.
So cute. Who's that?
Who's that girl?
Wait, did you guys need
Oh my goodness, that was during my 60 days of themed days during COVID and quarantine.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
Ooh,
Yeah,
fun.
I had a themed day every day to try and keep my sanity.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What were some of the themes that you did?
Oh my goodness, we did. I think I hit every Disney movie. We did an Alice in Wonderland day. We did a we didn't do a Rapunzel day. I think that was before you were into Rapunzel. I think we really hit like Beauty and the Beast, and my husband like had Amazon himself a Gaston outfit and came down, which was really funny.
I love
I'm
it.
so scared.
You were scared?
Yeah, 'cause remember
Oh, because he had a black wig and it was kind of hilarious.
Oh.
It was good. It was very intense.
yeah, I'm so scared.
You were so scared. Yeah, so I mean, honestly, I kind of feel I did that as one of those things like in a time where I couldn't control anything. It was the one thing I had a sense of control over was coming up with this different theme for every day for Kennedy and I to do because we were stuck at home.
Stuck at home like everybody else. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. What a great idea.
So why don't you tell everybody about yourself and how you got started into Disney?
Oh goodness. I always tell people that I was like raised Disney because, you know, some people were raised Catholic, raised Jewish, whatever. I was raised Disney. And I would go to Disney with my family at least once a year. I grew up in Massachusetts, so Disney World was my home resort at that point, or home, you know, park. And just being such a Disney fan at 10 years old, we had actually just come back from a trip where we went to the opening day at Animal Kingdom, and we came back and there was an audition in Boston to be to do commercials on Radio Disney, a new station that Disney was launching. And it was in a mall because, I mean, it was 1997. Everything was in a mall, right? And it was just a big stage with a chair and a microphone. And the producers and different DJs at the time asked the kids questions. And the question they asked me was, what do you like to do after school? And I'm 10 years old at this point. And, you know, most of the kids are like, I go to soccer, I go to dance class. And I was like, I'm taking a party planning class where I'm going to create events. And I was going on. And clearly it was something different. And it was not what they were expecting to come out of a 10-year-old's mouth. You know, I'm going to be an event planner. And then they called me to do some commercials, and that kind of ended up snowballing into doing interviews for them. So when different celebrities and different musical acts would come into Boston, I would have the chance to interview them. So I had the chance to interview Destiny's Child, 98 Degrees, Britney Spears, Hanson. Like, this is just talking, you know, true Y2K era right here.
Right.
And they have, all radio stations have a requirement to fill 30 minutes a week of public service announcements. So what the producer at the station did was turn that 30 minutes into one segment throughout the, like one segment a week, and gave me my own show called Casey's Corner. So I would interview the celebrities based on whatever charity they were kind of promoting or special cause that they had. And that would be the public service announcement for the week. And it was my own half-hour talk show.
That's so amazing.
So cool.
Wow.
That is cool. So who was the most memorable interview for you?
Oh, the most memorable was definitely Destiny's Child on my second interview with them. And I had the chance to interview them twice. The first time, again, this just shows you what time of, you know, what generation it was and what era it was. They were opening for Christina Aguilera. And it was the week that they went from 4 to 3. Like had just remember when Destiny's Child was
early on,
4? Yeah. So they had just gone from 4 to 3, and Christina Aguilera had actually canceled her show that night, and they were still backstage. And this was when like she was going through the whole like the nodules on her throat and everything, and so they let me interview them still. I mean, they had nothing else to do, so let this little 11-year-old kid come back here and interview us. And it was a great interview. And then a couple years later, again, sign of the times, they were headlining the TRL tour.
I remember going to the TRL tour.
Right? And it was like Nelly and Bewitched and Hoku. And I was interviewing a bunch of the bands backstage, and Destiny's Child, since they were the headliners, they were the last to arrive, and they weren't going to take any interviews. And I was backstage, and when they finally came in, Kelly Rowland looked over and was like, "Oh, Disney, Casey, you're here. Are you going to interview us again?" And I was like, no, like they said you're not taking interviews. And she was like, you're coming with us, and brought me into their dressing room, sat me down, and like I was the only interview they took for that entire show.
What a great story. That's awesome.
Yeah, I am hoping that there's some reason that our paths cross again so I can share that story with her, because it was for sure like the highlight of my time with Radio Disney, and just such an example of kindness. And you can see like those girls were raised right and they were managed right. Because I saw a lot of people who were not managed right.
Yeah.
There's a reason there's only one hit wonders out there.
Oh, so fast forward after you are on Disney Radio and doing the interviews, what comes next?
Well, at 16, you become too old for Radio Disney.
Right.
You age out.
You age out. You do. But at that point, really, I was like hit by that journalism bug. And I mean, even before Disney, I was the kid who at 3 years old would hear the Entertainment Tonight theme song and go running into the living room to watch Entertainment Tonight. I was just fascinated by storytelling and interviews and celebrities. And at that point, I was like, okay, I want to pursue this as, what I go into. So I feel like a very rare breed where I knew exactly what I wanted to do at a really young age. So I finished high school. I pursued a degree at Emerson College in broadcast journalism, and that's in Boston. And kind of always knew I wanted to be out in California. So a couple of years after graduation, we packed up, my husband, and we've been together since senior year of high school.
Aww.
There it is. I knew it was coming.
Yep.
We packed up the car and we moved out here with like 2 cats, a big screen TV, and some suitcases in a sedan, and drove across the country. So at that point, after college, I was working for an entertainment marketing company. And I was coming out here working with the Jonas Group and different, entertainment properties like Demi Lovato and stuff at that point. So I was like, I want to be the person that lives here. Like, I don't want to have to keep going back and forth. So let me just be the person here. And moved out here in September. Middle of October, the president of the company called me and was like, so I'm just going to be doing this on a consulting basis now. And we're not going to be having the company anymore. So I was like, well, great. I just moved across the country. What the heck do I do now? And luckily, we have a family friend out here who was like, Casey, honestly, come work in my office. Like, I'll stick you in the file room. You can do whatever you want. Like, basically figure out what you want to do with your career and make some copies for me here and there.
Right.
So thank goodness, because I did that for like 2.5 years while I sent out resumes and cover letters and did some side gigs. And then I started writing food content for Kiss FM, My FM, Coast, like all the radio stations out here. I would do their food blogs for them.
Okay.
And go to different restaurants and review different restaurants. And what a great way to kind of get introduced into a new city by having to go out to different restaurants and try everying out. So
yeah, no biased opinion.
Yeah, no, exactly. I don't know anyone. I could tell you it was trash now. But I had always loved food, have always, like my college thesis, when everyone else was doing a half-hour news program, I did a half-hour cooking show. And my professor told me I was never gonna, it wasn't gonna work. I could never meet all the criteria. Come to find out, she uses my show as an example of alternative things you can do. So, yeah. Thanks, Marsha. So that was, that's kind of how I fell into the food world. And in 2015, I started working for Chef Wolfgang Puck as his marketing specialist. And then that evolved after 6 years, and I ended up as his senior brand manager. And then COVID hit, and a company of 2,800 employees went down to 27. And unfortunately, I was one of them that, we held on. My boss held us on as long as we could in the marketing department. Thank goodness for her. But, we unfortunately lost our jobs just like so many others did. And that was when I was kind of like, okay, well, what's next? And I've always had the dream of having that talk show again and being the next Oprah. And I always joke, like, I don't want to be Oprah for the fame and fortune, as nice as that is, but Oprah has always been the most relatable resource for her peers and for her generation and for women. And I kind of just want to be that resource. And, she was the influencer before influencers were influencers.
Right.
And I love that mentality of being able to give women support, give them community, and share experiences. So that's kind of where we went, like how I landed out here and where I am now.
I love how your story is like a story of like perseverance. Like you keep like getting knocked down. You just like pick yourself up and you're like, all right, I'm going to regroup and I'm going to figure out my next step. And you just keep like plowing through. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I have to ask, did you eat a ton of food with Wolfgang Puck?
A ton of food. My goodness. Like he is, like the godfather of black truffles. So it's like everything. And actually my like shining moment, or like the creme de la creme of that job, was that I got to go to the Oscars every year.
That's
like
incredible.
So we the Wolfgang Puck catering team is who's in the kitchen for the Oscars, for the governor's ball. So every year we were just, because I was his brand manager and did all the social media, I was taking all the photos in the lobby, and I was, photo bombing Meryl Streep, and like I'm in the background with Tina Fey. It was incredible. I got the picture of him with Leo, and I got the picture of him with Brad Pitt. So that was for sure the most like very oddly full circle kind of thing, right? Like here I am growing up wanting to be on Entertainment Tonight, and I end up in the food world with the celebrities still. So it was very cool.
That is awesome. So now you have a podcast, Millennial Mom. So explain to us what that means.
Oh, goodness. So I rebooted Casey's Corner, the Radio Disney show, back in 2021. And I actually pulled in a couple of the celebrities that I had interviewed, like Jeff from 98 Degrees came on, Ashley from Dream came on, a couple of the Radio Disney DJs, which was so cool. And there was one point where I actually shared a little bit more of a personal story and kind of what I was going through with my confidence struggles and ditching diet culture and stuff like that, because a lot of my Instagram following through COVID and quarantine came on because I was following keto, and I had a lot of weight loss journey kind of followers and watchers and audience around that. So there was a point where I felt icky kind of sharing that stuff. And I realized I was sharing before and after pictures, and sometimes my before that I was putting a negative connotation to could be someone's goal. That could be something that someone aspires to be. Yeah. And I just didn't like putting a narrative around body and around any like making one body good and one body bad. It just felt weird. And it was just like a kind of shift of awareness for me. So I just kind of shared that experience on an episode of my podcast, and it went crazy. I had so many people reach out asking me, please share more about like women's health issues and women's wellness and parenting and all these different things that I was thinking people didn't really care about. So I made that shift a little bit and really started almost being that resource that I've always wanted to be for fellow moms and parents and women. And the term millennial, I feel like, has such a negative connotation, right? Like it is not avocado toast and selfies in front of a pink wall. Like we are so much more than that. I think that this is my theory, that millennials get a bad rap because the older generations are trying to keep us down, because they know that we are super powerful and we are that bridge, especially in parenting, where we're a product of the boomers who, I always say it's like the proverbial they. Well, they say you shouldn't do this, and they say you should wait until your child can do this, and blah, blah. I'm like, who's the they? Who is this they? Who gave them the authority, right? So I feel like as millennials are very aware and kind of see what that type of parenting has done to our generation. And now we're like being that bridge and showing the next generations, it's okay. You can do it and you don't have to stay in your hometown, and you can leave the state and move across the country and not have any family out here and still raise a child, a seemingly normal child. And it's kind of this taking back of the power of a millennial and showing that like there's more than one way to parent.
I love that. Yes, it's my kids are older now, so I don't have the little ones, but it's hard to let go. I know that.
Yeah.
So, so do you go to Disney a lot with your daughter?
So it's funny. So we were annual pass holders. We did the whole, at least once a month to Disneyland, because now that we're in California, like that's our closest
That's
thing.
your new park. Yeah.
And we just recently went on March 18th, and it was the first time in over a year and a half that we had been to Disneyland, which is like that's a shock for most people. Like, are you kidding me? You haven't been to Disneyland that long? And I will say, like, I might get some slack for this, but Disney's just different now. It's different. And there is, my husband's making fun of me right now for the amount of like animation that I'm doing. He just walked in. And I think that there's a little bit of the magic that's gone. And here's the thing: have you all been to Disneyland before?
Yes, I was just there a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a much different experience and mentality in the cast members in Disneyland versus Disney World. And a lot of people bring this up and kind of allude to it. And the difference is Disney World, it's a lot of people who are coming specifically to work at Disney World because they want to be there, and they're coming from all over the country or all over the world, and they're so excited and so grateful to be there. In Disneyland, everyone's basically local. And it's like the mall that you work at, right? Like you go work your job at Disneyland. It was
the destination for them. It was
exactly
there.
Yeah. It's a stop along the way. So coming out of, the crazy COVID times, and again, we're in California, so we were held up a lot longer than most people.
Yeah. No kidding.
And not only did they have a hard time getting people back, then when people did get back, the cast members weren't happy to be there. And I think that there's just something about the experience that is just a little bit different. And, I always joke that people keep complaining about them raising the prices. I'm like, they're literally trying to price people out. Like it's crowd control.
It's intentional.
It's very intentional, and it's sad because we are so much more limited on space here. Disneyland and California Adventure can fit in the Epcot parking lot.
Yeah.
Like it's so small. We don't have much room to expand and room to grow. So I think that, when I try to make that comparison, especially people who haven't been to Disney World that live out here and they ask me my experience, I'm like, it's a different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. And there's just so much space, and there's so much more room for activities, and
more drinks.
I hope someone got that step brother.
No, yes. Oh, I got that.
So I think that that's kind of I'm seeing that change, but there's still nothing like walking in and you make that corner and you get that first shot of the castle. And even though Disneyland's castle is like this big in comparison to Magic Kingdom, man, I'm like, Walt, come on, you could have gone a little bigger. But there's still nothing like that. And especially for me, now being able to it was just Kennedy and I that went. So she and I just had such a great mother-daughter day, and like seeing her just want to be around the characters. And we, I always say, like, if I had known before COVID, like if I had known the last time that I did Disney was going to be the last time I was going to do Disney, I would have Disneyed a lot harder. And, the last time we were going to go to Disneyland, I actually turned the car around and didn't go. And yeah, it was, she just didn't want to go. She was in one of those 3-year-old tantrum moods, and it was just bitter and cranky. And I was like, this isn't worth it. And then come to find out. So like we were making up for it on the last trip. It was fun.
Good.
I'm glad
I
you're
think you make such a good point when it comes to it's not the same just as like compared to what it was. And I lived in California and I was 20 minutes away from Disneyland. I lived out there for 4 years, and I've also lived 20 minutes away from Disney World so I've gotten best of both worlds. And
Yeah.
I gotta say the cast members, especially when they came back, were not getting treated right. They had minimum staffing doing, one person doing multiple jobs. And so, they're gonna be so beat down and so like exhausted. And I have my own podcast as well, and we chatted, and cast members are truly what make it magical. So if they're not getting paid enough or they're getting overworked, it's gonna deteriorate on the experience. And so I think that the cast members don't get as much praise as they deserve, and I think that they should get treated a lot better. And so especially like the war down here in Orlando with Universal employees or Disney World employees going over to Universal because they're hearing better things over there and better pay and etc. So such a good point.
Yeah.
So I take it you like Disney World or Disneyland better?
I will say there is nothing that compares to the character experiences in Disneyland. Like,
yeah.
Yep.
Alice rode the teacups with my daughter. Like,
really?
That doesn't happen.
Amazing.
And when we were there the last time, we weren't on the carousel at the time, but Mary Poppins was riding the carousel and then came off the ride and like gave my daughter a hug and everything. Like the character experiences are just so different in Disneyland, and there's just so much more intimacy around it. I love it. But when it comes to space and resorts and options and dining and everything,
Disney World. Yes, I like the drinks better in Disney World.
Well, that's because there are drinks in Disney World.
Yes,
and so many places to go for them.
That's true.
Yeah, all you've got is California Adventure is the only thing that Well, I guess Blue Bayou has alcohol now, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know how many times I've been to Lamplight Lounge, but they probably know us. Another
Lamplight.
one.
Place to go.
She's back.
It is. So, do you girls have any more questions for Casey?
Harper has a question.
Speaking on the train of characters, do you have a specific character that you personally love meeting? Not necessarily like, kids genuinely love meeting characters, but what about you personally? Like, what's just a fun interaction every time you go meet this specific character?
For the interactions, I mean, my favorite princess is Aurora, so I love just like kind of having that. Yes, I see the owl back there.
I'm like, oh my gosh, another Aurora fan.
Yeah. So there's always that little nod to nostalgia. And I do love Belle as well, but really my favorite character is obviously Mrs. Potts.
Oh, I get
it.
No, that's like I always joke that my husband made me a Disney character because he made me Mrs. Potts.
That is so cute. Do you and your daughter have plans or have done Disney bounds of, Mrs. Potts and Chip?
We have, yes, we have definitely done and actually, I was very, very pregnant the Halloween before I had her. So I was Mrs. Potts with my big old belly.
Awesome.
And my husband was Cogsworth. It was cute.
That's adorable. I love it. I love it.
Oh, you'll have to send us pictures.
Yes,
I will. I'll dig one up. I think it's like used on Pinterest or something for pregnancy costumes because I have like seen it randomly. I'm like, wait, that's
I'm like, that's me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, well, we want to thank you for joining us. This is our first show, and you're just a great guest. We'll never forget. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Congratulations on the show, and good luck with the episodes to come.
You were so sweet to be our guinea pig.
Anytime.
We might take you up on that.
Yeah, I'll come back anytime, hopefully without barking and special guest star children.
Oh, she's more than welcome to join.
We're cool. My cat's actually meowing outside the door.
Same. That's why you see me keep looking over here. It's like, no, you cannot come in here.
It's like, Valak, shut up.
I know.
All right.
They know when we need them to be quiet.
Exactly.
Yes. So we're going to go to commercial break, and we wanted to say thank you, Casey, and we will see you guys in just a second.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cute. Oh, Winnie the Cute. Rawr, Jurassic Cute. You're not trash. You're cute. This is Sammy. Sammy loves Disney ears. She loves ears so much, she makes her own. Yeah, 3D ears. Want to see her do it? Let's check it out. Here she's making bows. Here she also makes ears. And sometimes she makes ears with bows. Any kind you want. People have been seeing her with her ears and they're saying, hey, can I get me some ears? Pow, yeah, you can. Here you go. Now Sammy's making ears for any occasions. Ears for dogs. Ears for spooky stuff. You name it. Ears for any occasion. And it's all happening at JSA Creations. JSA Creations. Just ask for Sammy.
Happiness is addictive. Passionate about spreading laughter and creating smiles worldwide. Happiness is addictive. Brings our global community together through humor, optimism, cheer, hopefulness, and merriment. Happiness is addictive. Happiness is addictive.
Craving your favorite theme park? Craving your favorite theme park treats right from the comfort of your home? Introducing MainStreetTreat.com. We bring your favorite treats right to your doorstep. Visit MainStreetTreat.com today and go ahead, treat yourself.
Welcome back, everybody. So this is our last segment of merch. So merch that we want to buy. So if anybody wants to sponsor,
She has a very specific piece of merch that she would like to get her hands on.
There's a few, and I will. There you go.
There it
If
is.
anybody, I will not say no. But first, before we get to the merch, we want to show a little clip of how not to get merch from Disney.
The TikTok hack for a free shirt at Disney World Orlando.
This is so cringy.
I was just gonna say exactly.
It is. I don't even think those things would like cover nipples. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Ooh.
And like she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, sad face.
No.
Like I said before the call, I'm so thankful that Disney didn't give her a free shirt.
Yes.
And
They changed their policy where like you can't come in like that. Sorry.
I
Go
have
back home,
seen,
try again.
if I've seen something inappropriate, I used to joke all the time, be like, this is Disney, not Universal. Because, you can get away with more things at Universal.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can.
Mind
How
you,
do you-
but you should wear that regardless to any child theme park.
Right. And
No.
to just knowingly go in for that reason, that way is just
Cringe.
ugh.
Joey even says it's cringy. Joey, I've seen your shirts. They're pretty, not covering much.
Look at his little picture too. God, he's
I
got a
see
smile.
he's wearing one.
Casey was great. Casey was great.
Yeah.
She was so sweet.
She was. She's very
Yeah.
positive, and you can feel her energy.
Yeah.
So let's start off with our first item.
Oh my god.
Gorgeous.
That is very cute.
I want this
Um,
bag so bad.
I think it was $75.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's adorable. Not like
I love the handle.
but super
Right?
cute. Yeah.
I do like the handle. That would be a good bound. I really
Would.
think
Absolutely.
it'd be super easy.
Ooh, I'm already on this.
Are you?
Little
The bracelet of both
Oswald.
charms.
Oh, it's
The
so
next
cute.
charm that's coming out is Minnie Mouse, and I'm so excited.
Ooh, gosh, I love the Pandora stuff. I have a couple of rings and some Marvel products, and I'm like, oh, this is an expensive thing to get into. I gotta hold
It's a
out.
slippery slope, Morgan.
Yes, I am very much like, okay, we're just gonna wait for Marvel, and it's gonna be our favorite Marvel things, and we can't go into the charms. Like, that'll just be too much. We don't have the money for that. AP discount, what?
Yeah, right.
Oh, this
Okay,
is
so
cute.
I want this because it's the Disney 100, and I want to get all the 100 pins and just boop, boop,
Oh,
boop.
that'd be a
and
cute display.
like,
That'd be a really cute display.
Where's my shelves? Like right over here.
I
Yeah.
have seen the Disney 100 pins when we were at downtown Disney, and some of the pins kind of look cheap. The Disney 100 pins.
Platinum ones.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, some of them
Yeah.
they do.
Some of
I mean, I
nice.
get what they were going for, but and some
Yeah.
of them are very cute, but like you said, some of them just look there's
Not
much
like they're not
details to them.
finished.
Yeah.
Also, too, I don't know the size of that board, but I know people that are very avid pin collectors, and they will fill that thing up in a heartbeat.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
I wish they could have made it bigger or more poster boardy like and stuff.
A wall
Not
size
Joey.
one.
Yeah.
Joey.
I'm not trying to
Jeez.
get a shirt though.
Too funny.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
this is
just
that
really
cute.
cute.
I
I'm a
want these.
sucker for bookends. They're
Yep.
when you guys can't see them, but we probably have 6 or 7 sets of bookends. And
Oh,
here
they look really cute on your shelves too. The ears.
I've
Oh,
seen those ears. They're actually not bad.
yeah.
They're really squishy. It's
Are
not
they?
like hard.
They're much
Yeah.
prettier than the ones that were like dripping the platinum.
I
What was
want
with
those.
those?
I don't like. Yeah, I don't
the
like
dripping, honestly, I think it's so cool.
I
And
like them.
Yeah,
but
it
with
just
the
feels
100,
weird.
I love all the light purple and the lavender. Like
Mhm.
I love lavender. My podcast is purples and pinks, and I'm just like all the purple.
Right.
Yes.
I actually got one of the Disney 100 light jackets that everybody was after.
Yeah.
Happened to push a rack by us, and everybody went to the rack, and me and Larry just grabbed one.
Happened to be right there and be like, all right, this
Yep.
is mine.
And honestly, the only reason I bought one is because it was pouring down rain, and I didn't have a
So it
jacket.
was more of a practical buy at the
But
time.
Larry really wanted it though, and it was only $70, and that's pretty
That's not
cheap
bad
for
a jacket. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can do
Oh,
without the marionettes.
okay.
They kind of creep me
I
out.
want this so bad. When I was live, I said, "Mom, get on live." I want this. They're so cool.
I could do bullseye.
Bullseye, yeah.
Bullseye.
I think it's like the Nutcracker jaw of Woody and Jesse,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
no,
hers.
No, the people are a little creepy. I could do.
Yeah.
I could do
I
bullseye.
want all of them. They're just so cool. And on the outside, it shows like a old TV. It's really cool.
Hmm.
Okay,
Ooh.
Lotso's my man.
I was gonna say this just screams you, Andrea.
Anything that smells like strawberries, because I like strawberry shortcake when I was a child, so it just brings me back. And
yeah.
Wait, have you seen this in person?
yes, it's pretty big.
Did you smell it though? Because I didn't on that one
I-
specifically. It didn't
no.
smell like strawberries, and I was like, no, it needs to.
I think it's hit or miss at Disney because I bought a Bing Bong plush, and he smells like cotton candy. And the next time I went, none of them smelled.
Really
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yeah, but that's kind of, I put Bing Bong on the back of the couch, so if I'm having a bad day, I sniff it.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So it just brings me back to downtown Disney. It's just fun. What's the next one? Okay, someone can buy me this one.
I do like that. That's really cute.
It is so cute. It doesn't look very comfortable to carry around, but how cute is this one?
That's cute.
I thought it was like sporty cute.
It is very sporty.
Yeah. Like with some tights and a
Very
hat.
classic colors.
Right.
We love Oswald.
Oswald, cute.
Yes, I saw that one. Look at
Is
his
that
butt.
the back? Oh my
Yes.
gosh, that's adorable.
Okay, this
Stop
is
it.
slightly off topic, but my friend just went to Michael's and there was a wreath with like a cute little bunny butt coming out, and it was so cute. But there was a little black spot on his butt for his
Oh
his
no.
butthole, and it was like, why? Why'd you got to
Why?
do that? But it was
I
so
actually,
cute.
oh, you can't see it. I have a butthole bunny on my nail that I had painted. I had to convince her. I
Hashtag
said,
butthole bunny.
she's painting his butthole. It's just an X. And she's like, I can't believe you're making me do this. It's like,
Perfect.
That's
Ooh,
some of the
Tron.
Tron merch.
what
They
is
went
that?
all in on like toys.
So
and-
is that one of those things that you pull back and let go? And
I
it
think
goes?
so, yeah.
Oh,
They had them in like 3 different colors. They really had stuff geared towards like adults and kids.
Hmm.
Oh, nice.
Which is kind of interesting because I didn't see a lot of kids riding the ride.
right.
And they had slap bracelets like in all different colors. I don't know why those came back.
They did. I've seen a lot of people using them to hold their ears on their backpack, which is
I
genius.
just saw that.
Yeah, that is a good idea. And I guess I just don't get some of the references because I haven't seen Tron.
Okay.
So, if I were to just walk through a random store, like those shirts, I wouldn't have known that those were Tron shirts.
So
Like,
in
I don't
the
know
middle,
what that is or what it means.
in the middle of the jacket, it lights up.
I think it lights up. And there's a backpack too that has the same thing. And I think it lights up that blue color.
Okay.
Where's Larry at? Can he give us a nerd lesson in
those.
Tron?
Yeah, does Larry know Tron?
Probably because he's a huge nerd. I mean, Tron is the worst.
That's not what he said.
Gene.
That's what Gene said.
Oh, Gene.
Yes, the
I don't know
Universal.
anything about it. I feel so
So
bad.
we just went to Universal Studios for a Super Nintendo World, and the bands that they have are snap, but you can't snap them. If you snap them, it hurts. So you have to like kind of put it around your wrist, and it doesn't like stay on.
Well, what's the point of having a slap bracelet if you can't slap them?
I don't know. They're trying to be different.
I guess Tron is the worst.
Yes, I just said that.
Oh, Larry.
Yeah, Larry. What about Tron? What
Larry,
is
tell
that?
us more about Tron. Educate us.
The first,
The old one.
So that's the one we need to watch.
I was gonna say, so if I watch one, it should be the old one.
So how old is that movie? Like what year did it come out?
It's old, like 1980, like old.
Wasn't that before you were born, Heather?
I don't know. When was it born? Or when was it made?
1980.
I don't know that for
yeah.
sure. I was just guessing.
Yeah.
I know it's old.
Wasn't Larry like graduating college in 1980?
Yeah. Larry is older than me. I think I was in elementary school when he graduated.
Really?
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I'm going to hear that later.
I'm gonna
Is
have
that
to
all-
look it up now because I need to know.
Does anybody in the chat know when Tron came out? Because I'm
All right, let me get my
curious.
phone. I'm gonna look it up.
1982.
Oh, okay. So Tron and I are the same age. Good to know.
Tron is.
So Tron is really
I was
old.
born way after Tron. I will say that is all I'll say.
First one is 19. Thanks, Larry.
Larry is on it.
Uh-oh, he heard it. Oh, wow.
Love it. Love it. So our homework is to go watch the original Tron from 1982.
You know,
1982.
it's really hard for me to watch older movies. I tried to watch Aristocats.
Oh, you don't like Aristocats? Oh, I love
Yeah.
Aristocats.
And
No.
little geese.
Yeah, so cute. I have a hard time watching older movies that are supposed to be futuristic or like are supposed to have like really amazing effects.
Right. That's painful. Or
Right.
old CGI, and you're just like,
Right. Yeah.
"Ugh."
It's hard to go back and watch that stuff.
It is. But some of them are fun, but I just couldn't get into Aristocats.
Oh,
Aristocrats.
that's terrible. I love the Aristocats.
Is that oh my gosh, Heather.
Aren't you supposed to be a cat lover?
Oh, I love
Yeah,
cats.
right?
Give up those 2 cats.
Oh no.
That's your
Heck
punishment.
no.
You don't
Valak
deserve
is
them.
Valak is my support animal. I couldn't give up Valak. Valak. I'll have to put a picture of Valak so every time I say Valak, you can post them. But
Just, ba-doop.
He's so cute. So I think that's all we have for tonight. I think that our show was a great first show. Please don't forget to hit that like button out there and share the video so people can see
Come back
it for
next time.
Yeah. I believe next week we have Pete McDivitt.
Oh,
I got some questions for him. Don't watch the
Watch
first
the
one.
we have to. I feel like we have to.
I
We're
don't know.
so uneducated.
So yes, and next show we're going to talk about the 50th anniversary. Bye-bye.
Bye.
But we're going to have a new drink. Definitely a great first show. Thanks, Mike. Mike is great. He's one of the best mods. He always comes into our chat.
Much appreciated, Mike. Thank you.
Yes, we appreciate you. So let's wrap it up, and we'll thank you for joining us, everybody.
Yeah. And